It's you in English. My name is Anna Nichenko. We broadcast from the heart of Europe. It's Ukraine. And now our guest is Leonid Gozman, psychologist and politician. Hello, Mr. Gozman, and glad that you joined today our program. Thank you. Mr. Gozman, today I think it's the most important question now for Ukraine, for the whole Europe. How do you think, what can now stop this war in Ukraine?
It's a very easy question. Ukrainian soldier. Ukrainian soldier can do it.
What about diplomacy? What about different countries, the
Well,
Europe, NATO, maybe some organizations?
they can make it much more difficult for Mr. Putin, but they cannot stop it. They cannot stop it, and their opportunities dependent on the actions of Ukrainian soldier. And if Ukrainian soldier is not so heroic as she demonstrated during the last weeks, so diplomacy could do nothing. Now, together with Ukrainian soldiers, diplomacy can make a lot, and diplomacy can make this war impossible for Russia, to the prolongation of this war impossible for Russia. And I hope that sooner or later this tragedy will be stopped.
Yesterday, President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, talked to United Nations, and he showed a video from Kiev region, from the city Bucha. It's really something, I don't know, really awful and really, it's like a horror. Now, how do you think United Nations, can they do something now or not?
They must. It doesn't mean that they can, but they must, of course. The problem of Bucha is not only this horror which happened in this town. The problem of Bucha is the reaction of Russian officials. That during different wars, the humanity could see terrible things in Srebrenica, in Songme, in many, many other things. But let me remind you that Lieutenant Kelly, who was personally responsible for the tragedy of Songme, received 20 years of prison from his state. Our state, unfortunately, said that the Ukrainians themselves who made it, who killed these people. So it's another demonstration of the terrible, terrible mood of our state.
In your opinion, what kind of court, I don't know, international court, where, when, and can be Putin punished?
Putin himself?
No, I mean by some court, for example, or by some countries, by some international organization, can he be punished? Is it possible?
No. As long as he's in charge of Russia, it's absolutely impossible. And I don't believe that we have a chance for a situation which we had in Serbia, when the new government of Serbia agreed to send Mr. Milosevic to Gaga. I don't think it's happened in Russia. Of course, the humanity must tell about it. The humanity must say that such crimes unforgivable, and that the court is necessary. But I do not think that this goal is realistic one.
And if now speak about this war, how do you think it's war of Putin or it's war also of Russian people?
No, it's a war of Putin. Personally, it's his personal war. But of course, there are a lot of people in Russia who are happy of this war and who make the real crimes. Putin didn't kill anybody in Bucha. It was made by ordinary Russians, unfortunately. It happens in all the countries. In all the countries, such leaders like Mr. Putin can find some people who will support them. Hitler found a lot of those who supported him. Milosevic found a lot of those who supported him, and Srebrenica in other acts of genocide. So Putin found such people. We have, in our estimations, we have about 30% of our population who are strictly against the war. We have about 25%, or maybe 20-25% who are supporting this war and supporting with a great level of enthusiasm. And we have those who are in between, who just believe in our propaganda that there are Ukrainians who attacked us, there are Ukrainians who bombed their own cities, and so on and so on. But anyway, now it's a war of Mr. Putin himself, in my mind.
If you could describe Putin with one or two words or maybe one sentence, how you would say about Putin? In one word or in one sentence?
He must go.
And I think the whole world waits for that. One more question, current support of USA, for example, because we heard from Biden lots of words of support, but in real facts, do USA really support Ukraine now?
Who will support Ukraine? Biden?
USA, Biden, yes.
I cannot give an advice to President of the United States because I agree with President Zelensky that they deserved more support from United States. It's from one hand. But from another hand, I understand that the President of the United States has responsibility to his own people, not to Ukraine. And he must think about the United States. I cannot say, is it enough or not? Does he do everything he can or not? I don't know. But I think that the main factor of this war is, again, Ukrainian soldiers, Ukrainian people, and their heroism and their readiness to defend their land.
Thank you today for your answers, and I'll remind our
Thank
viewers.
you so much.
I'll remind our viewers it was Leonid Gozman, psychologist and politician.
Thank you.
It was you in English, Anna Nichenko. See you, because we broadcast here today just to give you real facts about Russian invasion of Ukraine.